Here we are in Blender again, and I'm going to select the default cube in the middle of the scene and go into edit mode with the tab key, then hold down Alt and hit M. Merge at center. And now all the 8 verts of the cube, we're in vertex mode by the way, are all merged into the center, which is 0, 0, 0 into a single vertex. Let's go to the front view and hit E. Pull up, E, pull up, E, pull down, E, pull down, and hit A twice. I'll look around here and select this vertex, EY, this one, EY. You notice I'm just eyeballing all this. This is going to be a simple stick figure. And I'll select this vertex at the top, E once, E twice, that's the body, E once, E twice, E a third time, that's the arm, E, 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 and select the top vertex again, E for the neck, E for the head, and hit A twice. So now we've got a simple stick figure. Let's select it by going out to Object Mode and add a modifier. The modifier is going to be Skin. And we'll notice this comes in looking really not too bad. If for some reason it's too big, then all you need to do is go back into Edit Mode, hit A to select all the vertices. You won't be able to see them if you're in shaded mode like this. Hold down Control and hit A. So even if your figure looks like this, or it looks like this, then you can get it to what seems to be to you about the right proportions. And it doesn't matter, you'll notice we got some problems with this foot down here. Doesn't matter, we'll deal with that in a moment. Next, if we go out to Object Mode again, and we right click and hit Shade Smooth, you'll notice absolutely nothing happens. So we need to go into Edit Mode again, and select Smooth Shading here, inside the modifier. Now this looks a little better, not a lot, but a bit. So let's add a second modifier, and that's going to be Subdivision Surface. Now this little guy is starting to look a good deal better. Right, let's go back to front view again, and into edit mode, and I'm going to, actually we're in edit mode, and I'm going to just select this vertex here, we can't see it, and just hit GG, move it up a little bit, that's better. Then I'll go here and select the two ends of his feet, GY, and now you can see starting to look a good deal better. And I'll maybe select the vertex in the middle of the body, Control A, just make it a bit bigger. Same here, Control A. Okay, that didn't do much for us. Let's try these two. Control A. Okay. And why can't we see that? I'm going to go to the Subdivision modifier and click on the little monitor icon here so that we don't see that anymore. And also so that we don't see the Skin modifier. Let's just select that. Yep, it's a single vertex. I don't know why that's not doing anything useful for us. So we'll just hit GG, or just GZ. That's a little better maybe, yeah. Okay, and then I'll just select these and hit GZ. That's slightly better. Okay, so now I want to give his head a little volume. So I'll select these two verts and right click to subdivide. And that creates a new vertex right in the middle. When we bring back the skin modifier and hit Control A, we can give him a reasonable head. Oh yes, let's enable subdivision as well. So again, Control A. Can't take it too far. Okay, and let's just see what these do. Control A. That's not too bad as well. When we move his arms around, this isn't going to work so well. But for just something simple, like the stick figure, a rapid animation test, it'll do pretty well. Let's go back out into object mode again. And you notice that when we do, if we're in edit mode, create armature is grayed out. If we go into object mode, then create armature is available to us. So let's just click on create armature. Interesting. So now we've got an armature. And if we go up here, we'll find we've got pose mode, and we can start to do things with this figure. Why do we have this bone coming out of the heel though? Well, the reason is that this vertex was the first one created. And this bone is a new root bone. It's the one that moves the whole figure. All the others move parts of the figure. But this one moves the whole figure. This isn't a really convenient place to have it. So let's get rid of the armature. Here's our figure inside. Let's hide the armature, go back into object mode, delete. And now again we'll select the figure. We'll create an armature, but before we do that, we'll go into object mode and we'll select, which is the best. Base of the spine is generally best for the root bone. Mark root. Mark root. So now that's the first bone created, or at least the armature creation tool is going to assume it was the first vertex created. Let's go back into object mode again, create armature. Right, that's a little better. Good. Let's look at this in smooth shaded view again. And now we can animate him. I'll begin by making sure that the playhead in the timeline is back at frame 1. If it's not, then just hold down the shift key and hit the left arrow. Shift left arrow takes you to the start of the timeline. Shift right arrow takes you to the end. And you can see we've got our standard 250 frames here, which at 24 frames a second is about 10.5 seconds worth of animation. Easy to change it. Let's go to a front view. With the armature selected, go into pose mode. And I'm going to say this character stays still for about a second. So let's go to frame 25 or so, and then start to move him. R or G, this is G, does the same thing. R, R, and R, just tilt his head a little bit, and then I. I insert keyframe, whole character, and a little orange diamond appears on the timeline, indicating that it's a keyframe and also that it's selected. If it's not selected, then it's white. Not terribly easy to see it, but it is there. And then I'll go to frame, I don't know, another 10 frames or so, and we'll make him wave at us a little bit. I, whole character. Another 10 frames. G this time. I, whole character. And R, same thing. I, whole character. And then here, we'll start to move his arm down. And I'm also going to just move that arm closer to the body. So just doing some simple 2D animation here. Maybe we're testing out an idea for something. We're going to add some simple narration to it and show it to a few people, see what they think. I, whole character. And then we'll go here. And I'm going to select the first keyframe and hit Shift D. And now I can move it along here. So he goes back to the first position. Well, actually, as you can see, we haven't copied everything here. We've only copied certain bones. So again, I'm going to go here, make sure that the playhead is on it, and we can do this by using the up and down arrow keys. Don't need to use Shift. So the up arrow key jumps between keyframes, down arrow goes back. It doesn't go past the beginning or the end of the timeline. So I'm going to select everything here, A, and then down here, Control C, and we'll go to this one, Control V. Now you can see we've actually copied that first keyframe, though we've also copied the other ones here as well, which I didn't intend to do, so just select them and delete keyframes. Right, let's hit the spacebar. Maybe he does a little more waving. So copy and paste. That's the basis of simple animation using the skin modifier.